understand the Somali culture better than anybody else. I can teach my kids like a class or everybody else who wants to know what Somali is all about. The young generation of today, and you know, it would be great to embrace that culture and take something with it.
I'll say it's really important to learn the culture, because when I'm speaking with my parents and I can't even respond back in Somali, I'm not like, what am I doing right now? Like, why do I not know my own language? So it's kind of shameful when I can't even speak to my grandma long distance, you know? So if you have the opportunity to learn your language, learn it, because it will benefit you down the road. Right now, I'm going back, inshallah, I'm going to go back home. But who promised me that I'm going to actually be able to communicate with my grandparents? I'm not going to understand a word that's coming out, so I'm trying to prepare yourself now before it's too late. And just start when you guys are young, because when you guys, your brain is, it's like a sponge. It takes in everything, absorbs everything. The older you get, the more loosened this country becomes. So start now, okay? What I feel is a big problem is when people come and tell me that I'm a part of the lost generation. Like, yeah, because they're like, oh, you're a lost generation, you have no identity, you don't know where you came, you don't speak your language, your culture, like it's a clash between the back home and the Western culture. And when people tell me that, I can't lie to them and say, no, I know what I'm talking about, I know my language, I know my culture, because I don't. I'm trying to learn. It's hard for me to put aside, you know, okay, this is school, this is friends, this is my culture, this is my name, this is my language, this is how, you know? So being here is a privilege. We shouldn't lose our heritage. We should not lose our roots. We should, if anybody has to go back home, see where you're from, witness the people of your line. You know? Right now, being here is a privilege.
How can we build positive relationships with friends, co-workers, and loved ones to help us promote a healthy self-image?
We all know that self-image is important, because how we think about ourselves directly, how we feel about ourselves, and we also know that positive relationship with our friends, our family, and our loved ones help our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Being a nurse, I have to say that. I have to throw that in. So the best way to do it is communication is crucial. It's very important to communicate with your family. If there's conflict or if there's culture issue, some misunderstanding with mom or dad, we all know the Somali culture. We have extended families. You can go to it and say, you know what, mom is telling me not to do this, but this is how it. And if you communicate with your aide can take this back to your hoyo, and you know, this can be, they can talk about it, and this will. But if you just keep it in, you want to express yourself to your families, and you say, well, you know, it's time to get out of this house because I feel like it's not, it won't be good for your physical or your mental status. So to talk about it, communication with your family and friends, if you have issues that you want to talk about. You can also the young Somali girls who, you know, form groups and talk about issues that you feel that you can't talk at home. So you go and talk to those girls and say, this is how I feel, could anybody help me? You brainstorm and come up with something, take it back to your family.